mediocre time with Tom and Dan, who kindly remind you that squirt is pee.
Is this music still acceptable, you guys? The lo-fi smooth jazz? Shred Bear just booked his hotel in NYC. It will be his wife's first time. I think you guys will have a good time. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
New York City is a cool place. That growing up in Florida, it's the
exact opposite of us.
Yeah. But obviously, if
you liked it, right?
You grow up in a big city, you go to New York City, you're like, okay, it's just a bigger version of this. But when you grow up in Florida and suburbs, and then you go to the city, you're like, oh shit! It was like being in a movie in Times Square, like I was on a movie set from the future.
You felt like the energy of Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
I've never been to the future. City. I've only been upstate, multiple times upstate. Never even been through the city. Never even flown into the city. I've never been to the city.
Yeah.
But everybody I know that knows the city says, like even Colette, she's like, oh my God, you would love this. They're like, you would love it.
And at first, it's overwhelming because obviously there's just so many people, and the infrastructure of it is fucking mind-boggling. You can't even comprehend how big it is, and how many people are in one square block. It's like, oh shit, this is crazy.
It's comforting to me though, for some reason,
and
having that many people around me, which is why I think I like living in Baldwin.
So after we got back from New York, when we were there, the first 2 days, we all as a family, me, Crystal, Tommy, and Max were like, this is overwhelming. This is not for us. Like, we prefer, being out in nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when we left, I found myself I remember, not even long. Because, you know what it is? I think it's because just our human psychology of being in big groups of people, we like that.
Yeah,
just like being in communal environments.
I wonder if it's just a natural safety switch, just a little bit of safety. Not even in the way I mean. Just like I'm talking born in grade A ingrained safety, where it's just, there's a ton of guys around, I'm good. And then that's just a natural feeling that's better.
I don't know,
because being alone is... They say that, right? On the flip side of that, being alone with literally nothing hurting you at all, though. But you could have everything you need.
Yeah.
And be alone, and it'll still kill you.
Yeah. Because we want to be around other humans.
Yeah. So I think you talked your own thing out.
But yeah.
Do you have that phone? Is it okay?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's charged.
And
We have Adam Carolla this morning, guys. So we're going to just kind of let him do the talking. We haven't talked to him since August 15th, 2012. We talked to him in the midst of the infamous podcasting patent troll debacle. DeBerry Joe is skiing in Wisconsin, I guess. He's flying to Chicago. Is that what I read? You're doing a lot of traveling for a guy out of work. Just saying. Was that a shot? No, but you told me in an email that you're having, you're looking for some jobs, Well,
put his business on the show.
Look, I'm not his doctor. There's no Hippocratic oath here. I say whatever I want. If I were you, I would do that. Because what's Tom and I's rule? Oh, he is working, he says. Okay. What's Tom and I's rule? As long as you have enough for a 12-pack of beer, you're fine. Totally fine. We are going to have you call in, though, and DeBerry Joe said that snow landscaping or winter weather landscaping, whole different beast. This is a different animal than what he's Florida yard man.
Well, everything up there just basically goes dormant. I mean, it does a little bit in Florida, but up there it's real dormant, like the entire winter where nothing's growing.
Oh, he wants to do something else. Well, what do you want to do? What's your dream job, DeBerry Joe? That could be a whole bit. Find DeBerry Joe a new dream job.
I think dream jobs are a
myth, fallacy?
Yeah, a myth.
Fallacy?
Yeah. I think dream jobs are a myth that we should stop telling society or our kids, like, find your dream job, because I don't think it exists.
Well, you can find jobs that are better than other jobs.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to do your age-old, like, I have to frame a job to my sons as being bad, and I disagree with that.
No.
We're going to do that argument?
No, not that it's bad. It's just...
it doesn't have to be bad.
Yeah, like... it's nothing is all... Everything about it is good.
No. You're saying that the adjective of dream is just that's a fucked up thing. Well, okay, I can get behind that.
Because it gets you to believe that there's a job where you're gonna like every aspect of it, and it's like
right,
and then that exists. Like, oh, other people love every aspect. They wake up happy every day, go to work.
So you're saying
that happens,
it's
but
dismissive of the difficult parts.
Yeah. It's like
I can agree with that.
And then so reframing it as like a job is made to be work.
Well, I like rewarding. Yeah. Is it rewarding?
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Like when you're done with it, do you look around and be like, okay, well,
fulfilling.
We've created something here. This job fulfills that.
Yeah.
It does. Not every day though. So that goes back to what you're saying.
I'll talk to Carolla about that dream job.
Oh, I bet you just we don't have enough time.
No,
you're it's like feeding a lion a pack of bacon or something, right?
Yeah.
What is, though, for lack of a thing that Tom and I are discussing that we may not even agree with, what is your dream job?
Me or the...
DeBerry Joe.
Oh, yeah.
What was yours when you were a kid?
I really didn't really have
My dream
one.
job was radio DJ, but not this. It would have been disc jockey, 100% spinning records, like music.
But that would have been...
Presenting music to people. Way easier than this.
Well, but if you were doing that, could you imagine the working with the corporate and then their bullshit and stuff? Like, you'd be fucking... It takes the dream away. The dream is the fantasy, but the reality of doing that... I mean, shit, you did it in a different way, but it's like, it's not a dream.
It's funny. It's funny because, but it is only when I do it by myself, and I'll explain. If I'm in my living room with Maisie, spinning the records and presenting songs to her like my dream job, that's the dream job. When you put the job on it, you ruin it.
Yeah, well, when you get paid,
you ruin it a little bit, stinks it up.
Because once you get paid, it has to be work, and work is no dream.
Ghost Minute Bull. Owning a small donut shop that doesn't get overly busy is my dream job. You know what? That's a lovely fantasy job. Small donut shop that It does well. You make money. You break even plus.
Well, if it does, if you break even plus, it's going to be busy. You got to hawk some donuts. That's the thing.
No.
You're wanting a fantasy. You want to make a bunch of money, hang out, sell a couple donuts? That fucking doesn't exist. That's a fantasy job, DeBerry Joe. It's not a dream job.
No, that was Ryan. That was our buddy, Ghost of Manute Bull.
Like,
who wants the? But
it'd be awesome if me and Daniel could just come in here 1 hour. I roll up, we just do a recording, and we leave.
No, just do it from your car.
That's a dream job.
Just do it from your car.
Yeah, but I like doing it in person. I think I can never, we will eventually, I'm sure, when we retire, do it like in different places.
Oh, I'll be in a cabin. I'll be in a Georgia cabin.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like shit.
But that's fine. And, but anyway, but that doesn't exist.
I love the donut shop.
You have to do a bunch of bullshit.
That's a lovely job, though. What you want, Ryan, is you want your father to own the donut shop and be sinking money into it and be losing money actively every month so you can hang out and just sell a few donuts. That's what you want. There's a lot of those businesses, too. The ones that aren't making money, that fail. Let me just double check one thing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good. Yep, we're good.
All right.
I reset them this morning, too. Whenever we have a call now, I come in here and I reset the internet phones. You can't trust the old Spectrum. Does anybody are there any analog phone lines left? Government? Military? Do they use analog phone lines like what we used to have?
Yeah, probably because
like the tried and true ones.
Just like because digital could be hacked or something. I don't know.
Well, I will say our digital ones need to be reset at least once every 3 months. It's weird. It's also funny to think that we had a line that went into our home that was just wide open. I remember slightly as a young boy when there was a whistle that would come with Captain Crunch cereal.
Yeah.
And it emulated the tones that phone companies used to open up long distance lines.
Yeah.
So you could get a line and you could toot the whistle on the line. And then through a series of tones, you could open the line up and have free long distance anywhere in the fucking world.
I think they did a documentary on that.
Yeah, and it was like one of the
There's a documentary on that, yeah.
It's like one of the first forms of internet, not internet, but like mass hacking. Then the technology got to the point where the whistle, and I think Wozniak was one of the guys that would build these boxes that would emulate the tone.
There you go.
There you go. There's my
Hello,
TED
Tom
Talk.
Dan. Hey, Adam. How you doing? I'm going to put you on hold, and we'll do the interview right now. All right, hold on 1 second.
Line one?
Yep.
Adam, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, here we go. 3, 2.
On the line with us, he's going to be at the Funny Bone doing a live podcast tonight with comedian Michael Yo.
That's a big deal, man. And we haven't talked to this gentleman since August 15th, 2012.
Yeah.
We were in the midst of the Patent Troll podcast debacle.
And you can get your tickets at orlando.funnybone.com. Adam Carolla is on the line. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, Adam, Daniel already mentioned it. The last time we talked to you back in 2012, and the podcast, I've been waiting to talk to you again because we, too, me and Daniel started a podcast back in 2009, just like you did. We were in radio guys, and you were kind of one of the inspirations of why we even started a podcast. And we left out our own 4 years after we started. We had to build it up. But essentially after that, we, work for ourselves, do a podcast here in Central Florida, blah, blah, blah. And the last time we talked to you in 2012, it was completely different. The industry, the podcast market was completely different. And now in 2026, there's so many podcasts out, every celebrity's doing one, every sports star. I'm curious to your opinion on what the podcast market is now.
Well, I mean, it's pretty saturated.
Yes.
But so is every market where everyone wants to do something. I mean, look, there are jobs people don't want to do and jobs people want to do. If you want to work at McDonald's, you can work at McDonald's. Anyone can work at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. There's no barrier to entry. And then if you want to play shortstop for the Yankees, then there's a whole bunch of people who want to play shortstop for the Yankees. So it's going to be a tougher putt. The thing about podcasting is it's like playing shortstop for the Yankees and working at McDonald's, which anyone can do it. I never really thought of it this way, but really anyone can do it.
Yes.
So there's no barrier to entry, but not that many people get paid like they're starting on the Yankees at shortstop, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of a weird thing. It'd be like if 3 million people were all running for president, thinking they could be president. So it's weird. There's a lot of people. I mean, if you're good and you're consistent and you've been doing it for a while, and that's fine. For me, it's fine. But I don't know what I would do if I was just getting started.
Yes.
Or maybe that'd be a good thing. I don't know.
So another thing that I never saw coming, Adam, and when me and Daniel started this, we realized there'd be a lot of broadcasters that go from radio to podcast because essentially you can self-distribute now. And, back in the radio days, and I know you worked in radio for so long, and so did me and Daniel.
Yeah,
where
do
it's
it yourself.
You couldn't distribute. You want to do a talk show, good luck. You have to go through, you have to have a partner with a radio station or TV. That was the only thing. And now you could just do a show and distribute it. But I didn't foresee all the celebrities doing podcasts and the sports stars that they're not even making any money or just doing it because it's so easy. And it's that diluted the market even more. And I was like, okay, well, now Julian Edelman and Gronk are doing a podcast,
Right.
and every other wide receiver.
Shaquille O'Neal's got 9 podcasts.
And then that dilutes the market so much where it's 10 million things. And so that's weird to me. It's celebrities are doing podcasts for essentially, they're not even getting paid doing it. They're just doing it because it's easy.
Well, but they're hoping they're going to get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're not doing it pro bono, or if they do, they won't do it for long. Pro bono, they're looking to get paid.
Yeah.
At least if not later, sooner.
Did you find because me and Daniel have seen this with the dilution of everything and having so many different options that it kind of, the only thing that really saved us, and obviously you're still successful in what you
Holding
do
records,
is because the amount of reps that you had in your broadcasting background. I feel like that is something that everybody else doesn't have. It's broadcasters and anybody in radio, just has so many tens of thousands of reps doing conversational improv that kind of secured our jobs for at least, for the time being.
Yeah.
And then it also, you start to see other people that do podcasts oh yeah, this, Julian Edelman and Gronkowski, they, if you listen to their commercials, it's rough. It's they don't have any reps. So, it's the tremendous amount of reps broadcasters have kind of, helped hold our jobs. And I'm curious to what you think about that.
He did 5 reps on the subject of reps.
Yeah, he's
I'm
a
sorry.
reps guy, Adam.
Sorry,
he's a
Adam.
reps guy.
Sorry.
We got to squeeze him in, squeeze him in where you can.
Sorry.
I felt like you needed a spotter for that one.
I'm sorry.
I mean, look, it's a 10,000-hour kind of job, and people don't really know it, and they sit down and they start talking, and it's pretty apparent that that's not what they've been doing for most of their lives. Some people are naturally better at it than others,
Yeah.
and most people, they just stick with it and they get those reps sort of turn into something. Not that many people are naturally gifted. They just can hold their own because of repetition. Like, I don't know how many commercial airline pilots are naturally gifted, or they just have done it enough where they know what they're doing. So I don't know. The weird thing about podcasting and me is I don't really think about it. I just show up. I try to get the best guests. I try to find the best angles. I try to have the best thoughts. I walk around with a little buck slip and make little notes all day and go, I'll talk about this, or I want to talk about that, or here's an idea, And after that, the chips just fall where they may.
Yeah. Well, I mean, congratulations on you just re-upped your deal with Podcast One, and now you have, what are you, 7 to 9 on Megyn Kelly's channel on Sirius XM, so congrats on that. How did that deal how did that kind of come about? Because, I'm a big Sirius XM guy, and when I knew you were going back, it's like going back to radio, or is that even like radio? Like, how does that work when you do Sirius? Is it a simulcast?
Yeah, it's a simulcast, so we just formatted our show just a little bit different. Nothing really, just sort of had a break or added a couple minutes on the time or something. And as a matter of fact, the episode I did, today's episode, is with Megyn Kelly live on stage. And we're talking about a live podcast with Michael Yo. This was a live podcast with Megyn Kelly I did over the weekend that airs today. So if anyone listening wants to hear what a live podcast sounds like, you can go check that out. But it was a great show. Megyn was fantastic as per usual. And I don't know. I was talking to people from Sirius XM, and one thing led to another, and we decided to sort of try it this way. And it's win-win for us because I'm doing the podcast anyway, so I might as well get a couple extra ears on Megyn's network.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she cast a pretty large shadow.
And Adam, speaking of Sirius, and I always think about you when Howard Stern does this. When every time he has some sort of contract dispute with Sirius, and then
we just got through this at the top of the year.
Yeah, it's like old school radio. It's like you fighting with the company, the broadcast company that airs you, and then,
will they bring him back?
Yeah, and then that will they bring him back thing. I'm just like, well, you could just release any show you want. Anybody can, and you could do it. I mean, obviously you could. He's got his own, he got everything.
Yeah.
He's like, you could just release it on the internet. So do you think about that every time, like Howard Stern has some sort of contract dispute with Sirius?
Do I think about
the fact that
what aspect of it?
Like the fact that he could just easily self-distribute in this day and age, and it's kind of ridiculous almost that you're having this will they re-sign my contract? And it's like I go away.
Well, I mean, that would be provided he would want to do that. I think he's an old school guy. He's a radio guy, and he wants a contract. And, I did this on a flyer. I didn't get paid for the first year and just did it for free when I started podcasting. I don't think you're going to get a Howard Stern to commit to X amount of content a week without a contract. Now, it doesn't mean it needs to be a Sirius XM thing. It could be any podcast network. But I just feel like he wants a contract, But yes, it is sort of foolish because obviously anyone can pick up their iPhone, record themselves, and, there's content. It's not like anyone could ever be silenced or pulled off the air.
Sure.
Yeah. And Adam, right before we started with you, we were talking about randomly dream jobs, and I'm curious your take on that because my sons are 10 and 11, and as they grow up, I'm like, now we start talking and having conversations about what they want to do, and I hate the term dream job because I feel like that's a fantasy that doesn't really exist. Like every job, should be fulfillment. They should give you fulfillment, but dream job insinuates that it's like good. Every aspect of it is great, and the work of it doesn't exist. So I'm curious to like the society being filled or fed the fantasy of dream job, and what you think about that.
I think it's kind of a problem, and maybe a bit of a fool's errand, because like I grew up thinking, well, dream job would be ice cream taster, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that would be a crappy job if you worked at Haagen-Dazs tasting ice cream. I mean, it wouldn't be fulfilling. It'd be filling, but not fulfilling.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It would be like, and like the reality is a dream job is like a job where you work hard and you have an outcome and you like solve problems and you get challenged. And, when I was a carpenter, it wasn't a dream job, but at the end of the day, I could step back and see that I built something.
Right.
And accomplished something, and it felt pretty good. I slept good that night because I was tired, because I was working all day. So I think we think of dream job is like mattress tester or something. You know what I mean? Like literally, what's the easiest thing I can do? I'll be the Maytag repairman. And that's how I grew up. Like, oh man, that guy's getting paid just to sit there all day.
Yeah.
But that's a horrible job.
That's torture.
I have a job. I travel. My job can be a hassle. It's a lot of airports and security and checking in and waiting in line and stuff. But I could go on stage and share my ideas and like have people laugh and meet people and have people tell me, oh, I listened to the podcast and I love it, or the best. Got me through some hard times.
Yeah.
I was going through a divorce and I listened to your podcast. That's a dream job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
So what do you think? What do you think I should tell my sons, like when they start looking for work? Because, like, I've been listening to you, Adam, for 30 years, and listen to your, I think I know you, your background growing up.
they won't need jobs, universal income.
And like you got into construction and stuff, and like the radio thing, kind of. It took you hard work, but also a little bit of luck, and then going towards the right way. All these things, I wouldn't put my sons in the entertainment business, or like, I don't know. What do you think I should tell my sons?
Gotta get that spotter.
I'm sorry, Adam. It's
That's all right.
When I'm talking to someone that I've listened to for a long time, I get naturally nervous and I start babbling on.
Listen, it's passion. I appreciate the passion, and that's what you have. And you remind me of a young me when I was middle aged. Listen, I look. Here's what you have to do. You have to balance what it is you'd like to do versus what it is you can do. You have to be realistic, You have to be realistic with your abilities. You're not going to get to do everything. Some people don't have the ability to do certain things. So let's forget about what you want to do. What do you do? What is the thing you do when you're left alone? What do you do for free? I mean, what is your thing that people like? They love pets, or they love kids, or they love gardening, or something. Whatever. For me, I love talking.
Yeah.
So I when I was left alone, when I had my off time, or when I wasn't working, I was with my friends cutting it up, and I was like, all right, I want to figure out a way to get paid to do this thing. I was good with my hands. I liked building, and I was mechanical, so I worked as a carpenter. But I wasn't a CPA, and I wasn't a dentist, and there was just a bunch of stuff I wasn't going to excel at. So I think you got to figure out what is it they excel at. Like, what are they like? What is it they do normally and naturally?
Yeah, no, you're right. Figuring out what you're good at and going that direction will give you the fulfillment and work. And instead of like, I always tell people, like, don't make your hobby your job sometimes, because when you turn it into a job, That's not what
pull
the
some
hobby was
fun
meant
out of
for.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Anyway, Adam, I know you got to go. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us again. Orlando.funnybone.com. He's doing a live podcast tonight with comedian Michael Yo.
Yeah, you get to see Adam Carolla. You get to see Michael Yo, who's been in here multiple times and is a sweetheart of a guy. It's going to be a great show. Tickets are really, really reasonably priced. Get them now, orlando.funnybone.com. Hey, thank you for the time, man. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you in another 14 years.
There you go. We'll see you in 14.
Yeah. We'll still be doing it, Adam.
See you, man. Take care. Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
The breakfast Adam Carolla talks are hard. They're hard. When you're hitting them at 10 a.m., that's hard.
Yeah,
you did a good job.
He does morning radio.
You did a good job.
No, you know what it is that when you talk to someone that
he's hard to talk to.
Yeah. Well, because he's
hard to interview.
Yeah. Because
he likes to talk. I'm gonna be the funny guy here. I'm gonna do it.
So I'm gonna ask a super funny creative question.
Yeah, I'm gonna put everything in my question.
And there's a rambling on.
And I would have tried to help you there, but nothing I would have said would have added anything. And I don't know if you'll remember this, but me and Carolla go way back because the last time he was on the show 14 years ago, I tried to butter him up with my love for classic cars and scooters.
Yeah.
And I said I have a 1959 Vespa VBA, and he said, you must get all the dudes. So I'm not going to be able to help you here. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm already on his watch list.
Yeah.
I'm already on the watch list.
Yeah. And it just.
And do you want to know something I'm going to tell you honestly as your friend and business partner?
Yeah.
It still bothers me a little bit 14 years later that he said that about my classic scooter because I love my classic scooter.
You know,
I didn't have the heart to tell him I pulled the engine out of it and converted it to electric. Oh my God, he'd have gone off on me.
It's the
most woke thing you can do with your scooter, Tom, is to put an electric motor in it.
No, I heard him talk about electric motors and like how insanely fast and efficient they are.
It's
like
so fun. It's the best.
But I don't know.
You did a good job.
No,
What?
I'm disappointed how
rate your performance.
Let's
rate our performance.
Okay,
let's rate our performance.
Okay,
we're the only people that do this, by the way. Other shows do the interview
and
then they're like, don't ever let anybody know that you're bad at anything. Look, we'll be real with you guys.
Okay, I'll tell you the truth.
Oh my God, taking your clothes off now.
I'm not a GD amateur. Right,
Who said you were an amateur? Nobody said
that. Well, it
that.
Sounds like I was.
Well, no, you got
this guy's a rambling
off into your question, and sometimes when you get off into your question, like a little girl in the woods, you look around, and you're like, "Where am I?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, and then I'm like the huntsman, and I'm like, "Tom."
Yeah. Just let me wander away.
No, and you're gone.
Yeah.
And what am I supposed to do? Well, tell me what you would have wanted me to do.
This is why it went poorly.
Should I have said, "Shut up"?
And it didn't even go poor. People were like, it's fine. It's fine. Don't tell me it's fine.
Hold on. I'm not going to let
I know what's bad or good.
Hold on. I'm not going to let you do this. Step one of it going poorly is to talk to Adam Carolla at 10 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to give that to us. That's our fault.
Well, he's traveling. He's in Florida. Anyway.
Yes, we're hitting him before. Dude hasn't even had one swig of water this morning. Yeah. We hit him out of bed.
He probably realizing this ain't gonna do anything. Waste of time.
He knows. We know.
We know.
We're doing the dance. Do the dance. Sometimes you dance with a fat girl. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I said that.
So here's
a horrible thing to say.
A bunch of things that don't lend itself to like I'm only good at. Okay.
You're freaking out, bro.
No, okay.
You took your clothes off. You're yelling at me.
I'll give it to us. One thing that I think a lot of our listeners, maybe some people will disagree, but I think it skews towards this is more not even objectively, this is, or like not even subjectively, this is objectively true. That me and you together are pretty good at interviewing someone.
Pretty good. I'd give us a pretty good.
Yeah.
Where am I? I'd give us a pretty good.
We make it comfortable. They usually have a good time with us. We've had a good track record just based on statistics.
Yeah. And
over the years, when people leave leave. They're like, "Ah, it was good." Like more people leave happy and satisfied with the interview than not.
More people say they enjoy talking to us than say they dislike talking to us.
To the point, and these are people like seasoned professionals that did do hundreds of interviews a year.
But the only one we can't win over is Adam Carolla.
Well, first off, then I talked to Mike August, which I know is funny because I listened to him. I'm like, I know this is right.
Were you geeking out a little bit?
No, because I'm too, whatever.
How do you know who's Mike August? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's the manager of years that I've heard all these stories.
I only know August from White Claw.
So first, I'm like, how much? I'm trying to be pro with him. I'm like, how much time? He's like 15 minutes, because I remember last time we talked to him, he's like, God damn, this is going on too long.
I have the clip. Okay. Hold on, I got a clip. Let's go to the clip. Hold on, Dan is prepared. A sober Daniel is a prepared Daniel. Let's go to the tape. Have we done this before with Adam Carolla? Have we ever bumbled with Adam Carolla to the point where he needed to leave? Let's check the tape.
I do got to go, unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry.
That's called you knew how long you had, and you're just running your mouths. You're just running your little mouths.
And then I know Adam
That's
Carolla,
from 2012, by the way.
Yeah, so they said 15 minutes. So immediately, right off the bat, I'm like, damn. Because me and Daniel, we do best when we have at least 40. Because it takes a little warming up.
The kids don't want 40. The kids want 30 seconds.
No, because like it gets a little time warming up and you get going and then you kind of, where's this going to go with this best? Like, and me and you will feel it out and then go that way.
Can I tell you something?
We'll have a bunch of backup stuff.
As soon as when we gave him the intro and he was like,
Hey, what's up?
I was like, oh, this is ruined. Can I tell you? I know it. I think I'm good at that. Like, I think that I'm like, if I'm like a fashion designer, or if you're picking like that new hit on rock radio, or picking a hip hop song that's got a beat that will be infectious, the new summer jam. I was sitting here as a tastemaker listening to it, and I hear,
hey, what's going on?
I'm like, well, we've already blown it.
Because
we blew it.
In my dream interview, we developed
There's no such thing as that. He just told you.
I was like, I can develop in 5 minutes a rapport with a stranger over the phone.
Yeah.
And then we all start laughing because like I know all the things he likes. I'm going to talk about extending the field goal poles. I'm going to start talking about his Newman race cars.
See, you were trying to stuff it all in.
I'm like, I got it all. Like, I know this guy.
Yeah, but he figured you out. He knew you were stuffing. I know. He's like, God damn. That's why he started laughing.
He was like, God damn, you're trying. And then it makes me feel like a fool. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm about some new greenhorn that doesn't know what the hell's going on.
At least he acknowledged
I know
you.
everything about the damned guy.
At least he acknowledged you.
Nah, yeah. No, well, because he felt because I showed vulnerability. like Colette says.
The chat room liked that, and it worked. The chat room, everybody was like, "Holy crap! You took a knee. You literally bent the knee.
God damn!
And you were like,
what the hell?
You were like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm excited." And the whole chat room lit up.
I know they're all laughing at me.
No,
you MFers.
They didn't laugh. You think they left? They did not laugh.
They think I'm weak.
No, they were like, "What's he doing? He's going off script. He's going rogue." No, he's hitting him with the emotions. He never hits him with the emotions.
Well, because I realized.
And it worked. You pulled him back in. I thought we were going to lose him. What did I do? I did nothing. I said 3 things during I laughed at him. I did. I gave 3
damn. Anyway,
you don't even hear me in that interview.
No,
I just did the stupid thing.
You know what? Someone.
You know what I hate? My job is when Adam Carolla will say something, he'll be like, "There's no such thing as dream jobs," and I'll just come in like, "Yeah, there's no such thing as dream jobs." Yeah, great job, Dan. You just come in like, "Yeah, great job." Like what? No, whatever you say, I just parrot it. What is that? You're like, "Thanks for calling, Adam." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks for calling, Adam."
That wasn't a stupid dream job question. I had so many other ones.
Do you want to ask me the other questions?
No.
And I can answer you as Adam Carolla?
No. There's like.
Don't sound so disappointed.
Stupid.
I'm so stupid.
Oh, God. I wish I'd never done it.
I tried to butter him up with the Megyn Kelly thing. Like give him some congratulations about like being on the Sirius XM channel. What I really wanted to say though to him, and you don't want to do this when people are on the because like I like to think that we have a good rapport with everybody that comes on our show. But I mean I kind of wanted to ask, but it sounds bad. But like, will that even do anything for you? Don't you get more people downloading your show naturally just on Apple Podcasts and YouTube Podcasts and wherever podcasts are found than SiriusXM could ever garner?
Yeah,
aren't those channels like
It may be if it's easy, why not? And then if he's just doing a show and change the format a tiny bit,
that's
like
true.
Then it's like, hey, they'll just use the content. It's like if any company said like, hey, we'll take Tom and Dan content, chop it up, and put it on our network.
We did this.
We'd do it.
We can talk about
Why not?
This. No, we did this a couple of years ago.
Especially if they paid us or there's some incentive or like, hey, we'll advertise your commercials. Like, if it's easy, do anything.
Yeah.
Like, why not? There's like, who the hell cares? Especially if you own it.
There was a guy that was trying to get us on the like in-flight entertainment. We were on for a little while. It was like in-flight entertainment in like lesser-known airlines.
No,
you'd go down to podcasts and there'd be like all these like podcasts from like India and then Tom and Dan.
That was at a time. It's funny. That was at a time where there were companies looking for content.
Yeah,
like there were still.
We've
like,
never talked about that really.
There was still like a content desert a little bit at the very beginning of all this stuff. It's like now it's.
Oh yeah.
I mean the world's flooded.
Yeah, there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, there's like 2 giraffes or 2 elephants floating around.
How do we figure out how to do how do we take advantage of we should do? It's hard to explain what I'm even saying. Oh, now I'm doing it.
It's my kryptonite
Tell me.
And you could do this to me if you want to drive me crazy. And
that's a Savannah song.
Is when someone they say something and then they're silent and then I start talking to them and then the silence, they're not like, yeah, they don't do a yeah, or some sort of noise signifying that
that's my fault.
They're following me. So then
I've given you too many yeah.
But I'm like, oh my God, I have to keep going.
Oh my God, hold on, I figured this out.
I need a yeah speed bump.
No. And I didn't mean to give you a no when you're looking for yes, but you understand what I mean.
I'll take a no. Well, anything.
Follow me.
If you say silent, I just keep talking.
No, but listen to me. What do you need when you're at a concert? What do you need people around you to be doing for you to have a good time?
Yeah, have a good time. Yeah.
So the yeah is really it's an affirmation, right? You're telling something in order for you to feel like whatever you're saying is accurate or is this good? And then somebody has to go yeah. It's the same thing.
And it's worse over the phone because I can't see their face. If they're sitting here in front of me and I see their face, I'm totally fine. But on the phone, I'm just like, oh my God, imagine them mad. Just sitting there mad. And I'm like talking to a mad person on the phone. And then I'm like, oh my God, keep talking. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
I was doing it. See, I was doing it. And you started to freak out a little bit.
I just ended. I was like, I'll end this. God damn it.
What if you just pulled out a gun and shot me dead? All right, should we take a break?
Yeah, we'll be right back.
There's a really funny segment. We saved it.
So we went a little too long, but that'll be tonight's ACT.
Yeah.
And there wasn't even cursing.
No,
I don't think.
No, it's fine.
So, but because of that, and because we did Friday's show already, let me.
You're good. Yes. Okay. Got it.
So,
They wanted Grandpa Biker and Domaniac to interview him instead of.
Well, that he knows that. He's like, oh, stupid.
The Maniac.
There's nothing.
The Maniac wouldn't get ruffled by it. The Maniac would start stapling his balls to his leg or something.
I knew that it was going to be
rough.
As
soon as he answered the phone, I knew it was going to be rough. I knew it. As soon as I heard his morning voice, I'm like, fuck. And I can do that. I have that talent.
And it's almost like,
there's not
and
enough
of course
energy.
he's not going to be excited about doing another fucking media interview. He's been doing,
Yeah.
And so and that he's naturally dry to begin with too. Jeff Howe does this to me, where
still easier than Adam Carolla.
You're so dry that it somehow affects my personality, and I'm like trying to win you over somehow, and I'm trying too hard anyway. I don't know what the fuck.
Do I put some music on for a second while we wait for our guests?
Let's do another, because how long was that? 30. So we need to do like another 13.
Do you want to just finish it up?
Yes,
I do have some second thoughts about that live podcast. I mean, I don't mean to give us extra work, but it's a little thin in listening to it, because remember, we still have to do the intro for 3 and 4. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to give us to do extra work.
No, let's do it. But how much do we need to do a little? And is it only 24?
No, hers is 2 big fat
okay.
segments. We need a 6-minute intro.
Okay, just 6-minute intro.
6-minute intro.
So we'll do a 6-minute intro
and then because I got to tack it on
to the beginning of
the beginning, because dude, I can't even believe I wrote that on the thing. Like I linked it and then wrote on the end of it that I need to tack the end of it to it. It's like I didn't even trust myself, so I put it in the subject name. You want to do that now?
Well, yeah, we could do.
Or we could do that 11 minutes that we need. Or we can make it like.
Do we do the 11 minutes with the ruckus?
Yes.
Because that's a good
that's a good
amount of time to talk about the ruckus and stuff.
It's perfect.
Okay.
It gives us because it can float. It can be 11 to 15. If it's 11, great. If it's 15, great. Like that's
Okay, so that will be the number. So then now
that's done. We just need an intro for that.
So that'll be Thursday night.
Yep.
We have Friday.
Yep.
We'll put the astronaut Monday 3 because because it's going to be interesting, and we'll talk to her. Yeah,
she seems like her bio's ridiculously cool. Cool. All right.
That's
that we talked it out. And then we just need to do this little piece.
So we could do 6-minute intro for Love That Neighbor. And let me get water, and then we'll, because they're coming in at 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. You got time. Answer me, guys, and you can be honest about this, whether you like it or you don't like it. When we do those type of interviews, I've always thought this is good. And asking the chat room when normally you guys are pretty positive may not be good, because maybe I'm skewing the results. But I've always liked it when we kind of peel it back and talk about how interviews can go good or bad. I've always liked that, because I think it's impossible to do all good interviews. I keep getting these like funding service emails, T, from people that want to give us $500,000 to help make sofas and suds better. That's a lot of money. Yeah. Well, good. I kind of like that too. I think it's different. I think because we're not going to be able to do good on all of them. That one made me very uncomfortable. Do. Yeah, EJ says he thinks that's the only time you've ever gotten in your head with a guest. I think that might be true. All right. 6 minutes. I know I have.
It's not getting in my head as so much as I'm forcing it to go a direction that I think I was anticipating. I'm like, oh, he'll go this direction if I ask him this or whatever, and then why I don't know why I did it like that. Yeah, stupid. It's partly because of the time. I'm like, I need to force in 15 minutes.
All of the stuff we want to ask.
The stuff and the direction I wanted to go, and it's just like
we did it. We just didn't, we didn't like the way it came out. Sometimes you bake a cake and it doesn't look that good, right?
You never know.
But you know what? I would prefer that interaction all day over the. So how's it going? How's doing stand up again treating you?
No, I know.
I would rather it fall apart because at least then I feel like we've died. This is not biblical, but we've died on the cross, right? Crucified. And then, so what's the value? You and I had to sit there and know that you were drowning and I did not save you. I world starred you. I videoed it and I yelled world star. I did not save you. There's nothing I could do. And we sat there. That's better to me. There's more value in that to me. All right.
And believe me, I thought about this for 2 days. Not
because
that much.
You knew you were going to do it ahead of time. He knew he was going to ruin it.
I was like, I know that just like last time we talked to him, and just like if I'm listening to him, but he'll do the talking. Yeah. So just set him up and then let him rant about something.
You should ask Maisie what I told her this morning. Maisie goes, "What are you going to ask him?" I go, "Not much, baby."
Because he'll do all the talking.
He will.
But then again, as I'm starting to look at doing that, and I'm like, it's kind of unfair to be like, right in the morning, you do your show for our audience.
Talk to me, Ace.
Yeah. So then I was like, maybe I shouldn't go. That's what I got to fucking up in my own head, because they're like, maybe I shouldn't go that. I'll start doing the talking.
I try not to look at you either. I don't know if you noticed, but I started to look down because I don't want you to feel like I'm laughing at it. Do you know what I mean? Like when we're doing commercials and we flub something, I try not to look at you because I don't want you to think that I'm like, what are you doing? All right. Let's do our little intro here for the live podcast with Colette.
Yeah, and that's why, too.
Love Thy Neighbor.
You interview someone that you listen to, it never can go well. I think. Because
any guest that I've been excited about them being on our show, I've ruined the interview, or I've done something that I was like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. With most people, because I don't consume that much, like people come in here and I don't know what the hell this way. We don't just talk to them like it always goes well.
It's easier if I know less. Yeah, I agree.
Anyway,
I agree. All right. This is live podcast. This is the beginning part. I can start it since you normally start it if you want me to start it.
Yeah.
And then I'll intro it. Okay, here we go. It's Love Thy Neighbor, the relationship podcast. I'm Dan Dennis, and sorry. Let's do it again. And then you can do it.
Sorry.
I was gonna do what you normally do.
Yeah,
it's better if you go and I'm Tom Van. Here we go. It's Love Thy Neighbor, the relationship podcast, and I'm Dan Dennis.
I'm Tom Van.
Now, obviously, Colette is not here, but she just released her book, The Cost of Quiet.
Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon. It's everywhere. Be sure to pick it up. And if you're kind of reading it like I am, actually I'm listening to it in the car, you can leave a little review. So far, so good.
I saw Colette did make the Amazon bestseller, I think #1 the other day.
#1 for self-help, I believe, or relationship.
Yeah, relationships.
Yeah.
So she accomplished her goal. Now we're about to play kind of the audio from the live podcast she did at her book release that me and Daniel were a part of.
Yep.
She had other guests up on the stage with her.
Yeah, a bunch of different powerful, relationship experts or friend of hers, luminaries, contemporaries in the same sort of field. You might have some familiar names that you actually hear other than me and Tom. But yeah, this is the presentation from her book launch at the Mercedes-Benz dealership in Maitland.
It's funny about her book release.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't do anything. And it went well. It went well.
Yeah, it was great.
Which it's funny because I don't think about what I'm walking into. So, when we talked to her, she it was pro. Like she spent the money. She had, event organizer.
It was a beautiful event.
And the audio person. Like it's funny because before she did this, she was telling us about this, weeks prior. And I'm like, make sure the audio's working.
What kind of JBL speaker do you have?
Make sure there's a Bluetooth hooked up to your JBL.
On a karaoke machine? It's amateur hour over
here. And because we've walked into some scenarios where you didn't think about the audio. She's like, I was calling her audio person.
anticipate is that she's never walked into the same scenarios we have. You know.
So then another thing I found funny, and I'm sure she doesn't think about it like this, and we'll talk to her next week when she comes back, or anybody there doesn't think about it like this. But it's like when you're in a family reunion, right? And then the misfit cousins hang out in the corner.
The people that aren't dressed right. Yeah.
So it's like
the juggalos are in the corner. Yeah, they want to listen to their rap music and smoke their vape.
So me and Daniel and a couple other BDMs.
Yeah, the vape crew.
Link and Jen.
Yeah.
And then Tracy's there.
Jen was dressed like Wednesday Addams. Jen is there. Link is there. We have 2 prize pig friends of ours.
No, you know what?
And all they do is come to our events to try and steal all of our riches and our goodies. And Link was there. He's the clockman, and then his beautiful wife Jen, who was dressed like Wednesday Addams, very inappropriate to cosplay at Colette's event.
I have the right word. I figured it out. It's not prize pigs, because Link was like, we're prize pigs because we go to Moe's events and come to all these events. And I'm like, no, because
he wants to be a prize pig. That's why I'm calling him that.
Prize pigs want crappy prizes. They come and they finger
DVDs
through
and movie tickets
and glass Kanye West plastic yellow glasses that say radio station.
Old real radio sticker with a coupon for a Checkers burger on the back of it.
A fancier prize pig is a prize skunk.
Oh.
They're prize skunks.
Prize skunks.
Ooh la la, prize skunks.
Okay, there you go.
they only want
the
nicer prizes, like Colette's book release at the Mercedes-Benz dealership, all super fancy.
I saw Jen filling her purse full of cold cuts, tiny salamis, little crackers, little breadsticks.
We're the misfits, and all of a sudden other BDMs we're like, oh, we're
Jen
fancy.
Went ham. She went ham on the Kalamala olives, just filling her purse full of snacks.
And then it's funny when our audience, and then Amy from Fox 35 and some other celebrities and like other upper echelon people.
You know what it's like? They treat us. You know what they treat us like? I'm glad Colette's not here. You know what they treat us like? They treat us like we are the Junkanoo men that have the iguana on their shoulder when you get off a cruise ship. Everybody wants to take a picture with us, right? They're like, oh, Tom and Dan are here. The hillbillies, the iguana men are here. So everybody takes a photo with us, and then they go back to the fancy. They go back to the fanciness and leave us back with the vape crew.
So, my husband loves you.
that happens so many times.
I'm the breadwinner. I'm the lawyer. My husband, he's a stay-at-home dad. He loves you. Oh, damn it.
He has addiction issues we're working through. He loves you.
You gotta,
sweet man, great dad. What addiction issues?
Pain pills got him in 2012.
But great man. Very brittle teeth.
His doctor prescribed them pain pills. Couldn't get off them. Now he loves you, though.
Listen.
Let's take a picture. He's still,
we're not talking about anybody there, by the way, because now I don't want that woman that took photos. She's like, my husband does not do pain pills. And I'm like, if he doesn't, can I have his pain pills?
It's funny where we get like this when Colette's gone.
It's crazy. It's almost like we want to do a wild show. All right. Well, here's what I will say. I've never been more proud of our friend Colette. She's done such a great job. She's so kind to us and helps us, and we're just looking forward to working with her more in the future. Congrats on the book release. The book is really, really great. I am actually listening to it. I'm on chapter 4 right now.
Awesome.
Far, so good. In fact, there's some examples in there that are triggering me a little bit. She uses a couple. She has like an example couple that she sort of made up that she uses kind of throughout the book, and you kind of follow their story. So you can kind of like, project yourself into it, if you will. And it is very good, but there are some things in there that if they happen to me, I would be very angry. So it's a good book. Good book.
Get it. The Cost of Quiet. It's out.
Amazon.
It's out on Amazon. Order it. Like Daniel said, there's an audio version.
Read by Colette. So if you like the podcast, it's like listening to a better version of this show. It's just the show without us.
I'm an audiobook guy. Because, just like podcast audio. I like audio.
I like it when the author reads it. I know that sounds lame, but what a time to be alive when you can get like the author of the book in their inflection reading their words.
When I every once in a while I'll stumble across an audiobook the author doesn't read, and I'm like, God, lazy.
Well, Colette was going to do that. She had asked me, she's like, should I read it? Or should I have a list? And one of the she was going to have Puck from the Real World be the voice. The only thing I could think of at the time. So anyway.
So enjoy this audio from Colette's book release. We were guests on it along with some other guests. And then we'll see you next week with another episode of Love Thy Neighbor live with Colette.
Yeah, and if you have an email, remember, we keep them anonymous. It's hello@lovethyneighborshow.com.
Yep.
All right. I'll make a little edit on that. Thank you, buddy. That is for Thursday 3B. Edited end. Edit at end. Got it. 10 minutes before the science people. How are you, Tracy? I love me some Tracy. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I sent her a text message this morning. I'm trying to be better about this. This isn't your love language, but it is for Tracy.
Yep.
I just sent her a message. I said, hey, this is just a message for no reason. Thank you for what you do for us. No reason.
That's good.
Just a thank you. Just a standard. Trying to be better about that. I try to thank you. Here, I'll give you one that you're not going to like, but I do like your hair longer. I like the big.
It's bothering me.
But it looks cool.
And it's way too long. It's hard.
There's a chef that me and Maisie love. Maisie loves the chef on YouTube. I'll show you this guy. And he has hair exactly like yours, except his is gray. And he's got cool dude hair. You have exactly the same sort of thing that he's doing. Let me show you this chef's hair. He's got great hair. Subscriptions. Search Brian. Right, where is he? Where's my chef? Brian Langstrom. Look at his hair. Look at that guy's hair. See? Very similar hair. I'll put it up so everybody can see it. No, it's like
manage.
Big cool dude hair.
Yeah,
wait till you see this guy's.
Put so much product in there,
hair.
and then the
We
product.
love this guy. This guy's he's a great.
What
chef.
happens to it? It
emulsifies into your hair. It spreads out.
Okay.
Because your warmth of your body. Where's his face? There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. But this guy. There he is. Okay. There. Now you can see how big his hair. He got big hair, dude. This guy's got. Hold on.
It just ends up flopping into my face.
But it's cool looking.
And then headphones.
Brian Langerstrom. We love this guy. This guy's good. If you want a weird chef, and what I mean by weird, what's weird about this guy is he takes a scientific approach to most recipes. So he teaches you what's happening, like the Mylar method, like why meat will stick to the pan and then it'll finally release once you formed a crust. He's good. Yeah, me and Maisie like this guy. He's great. We make a lot of his recipes. That's what we do on Sundays now. We can talk about that at some point. So on Sundays, May and I, we go and we pick a recipe, and then we get in the car, and then we go to, someplace other than Publix because she knows I'm warring with them still. But I'll still go to them because it's not that big of a deal, right? And then we get all of our shit, and then we make some sort of crazy food thing. I remember Good Eats. Yeah. Alton Brown was great. And he's retired now, right? And I don't know if Tom agrees with this, but this is a Tom Van thing. The older versions of Alton Brown's Good Eats, when they're not formatted widescreen and they're fuzzy because it wasn't high def, I can't watch them. I can't do it. It makes me feel like I'm watching something old that I should not be watching. There's an inherent irrational naughtiness that comes over my body, and I'll just go to a different recipe. Oh, he comes back, and then he does a few episodes, and then he leaves. Yeah. What else do we have to do today?
What a great time to like to cook.
Oh, you can find anything. And have you tried ChatGPT with recipes yet? It's awesome.
No, Crystal has.
It's great.
Well, Crystal did the thing where she entered in all the shit that we have.
Just take a picture.
Or take a picture. Yeah, she took a picture. And then it gave her
unbelievable
all the recipes to eat through all the food we have. Like, life has never been easier
Yeah, but that's probably the reason it's
never
bad.
been easier. Like everything you can find unlimited information. Like you have the smartest being in the world telling you everything you need to know. Like Crystal, we fixed our own dishwasher. Crystal did the other day. Like some thing was happening. Like
don't tell that to Adam Carolla. Don't tell him you let your wife fix the dishwasher.
Well, she got more time.
You let your wife fix the dishwasher, my God.
Yeah, no one's buying 10,000 houses.
Next you're going to say she helped you remove your Nova ring.
Is it a Nuva ring? I don't know. I was trying to think of an older man pregnancy birth control joke he would have made.
And it tells you exactly step by step how to do it. It's like, oh, this error probably means this. Is like take off these screws, order this part, plug it in, and fix it. And it's like you're
Andrea does that all the time.
It'd have been impossible.
Yeah.
To ever like your dishwasher. You're like, well, that you call a repairman. And I was like,
when we give
step by step.
You mean to give you a scary one? Well, Andrea thought it was pretty scary. So hopefully I can say this. I don't know if she's in there. So she works with a lot of teams all across, the United States.
Yeah.
So one of her teams is really diverse, meaning she's got like one person from let's say 9 different continents. Or not continents, 9 different countries. Like so you've got French, you've got the guy in Africa, you got but she needs to build out like a way to present them when they're like speaking or meeting with people. So, and she has to gather quotes from them about like their own like leadership style or how they code or how they do things. So what she's had to do, they have to like write to her kind of what they do. Copilot is what they use, kind of knows about that person, like through knowing like its job profile.
Yeah.
So, and this is weird, but she needs quotes from them about how they see the project going and how they like their leadership style. And Copilot they'll take their quotes and then refine the quote within their like in how they would refine it.
Okay.
So it's like, look at these series of quotes that were said by this person, but refine it even more in their what do you call it? Tone.
Tone or style.
And 100% of the time, without the subject that she knows when she submits the quotes, like which one do you want to represent you for this particular thing, it's 100% of the time the one that's been like kind of molded in the tone. No one ever chooses the other ones, ever. It gets it right, that accurately.
Yeah.
It's able to put it in a way more pleasing way for you, and you are choosing it every time.
Yeah.
And it was blowing her mind because, like, there's a bunch of different. Hopefully, I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but like, it's a weird example that, like, when she was explaining it to me, I was like, but no one ever, because she's giving them like, let's say 8 quotes that they can use for this particular way that they are presented, right? But like 2 of them are the ones that have been altered and refined. And they'll choose out of the 8, 6 of them are not, 2 are, and they'll choose one of the 2 every time. Never not.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to show that it can gather data and then it can like formulate something that like it's helpful. It is a helpful tool.
Yeah. It's it's of course like it's a reason why we all scroll too much. It's like it can learn you pretty quickly.
I'm gonna learn you,
and it gives you what you want to see.
You'll see. I'm gonna learn you.
And even if you're like, that's not everything I want to see, but it's enough to keep you scrolling more than you should in society. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it knows. It's pretty good.
What are you guys watching now? Just small talk while we're waiting on our guest. You're doing the Game of Thrones deal still?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Let me, guys, I'm going to put on the music and we will be right back.
the man, but I believe it. Take you where you want the man, but I believe it. Take you where you want the man, but I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
The lo-fi music.
Oh, I should have taken the selfie with the headphones on.
Well, that's the beauty of selfie. You can always take it again.
You do whatever you want. The hard part's done now. We talked to Adam Carolla. That was hard.
I'll text it to John Tesh too. And say,
oh yeah!
All right,
please.
Because I was.
He might remember Logan trying to set up because Logan mentioned to John, who's like, "Oh, I've got some podcast buddies in Orlando that." Would love to talk to you about the origin story behind Roundball Rock because then SNL did the big, it's our buddy. Well, not our buddy. We'd love for him to be our buddy. Tim Robinson wrote that sketch on SNL for the Roundball Rock. Anyway,
Well, and he was just talking about that actually. So it's funny because he wrote lots of music for the Tour de France, and all kinds of like sports themes and stuff.
Prolific composer.
So when I went to work for him, and then I saw that he wrote Roundball Rock, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I was in L.A. with Nicole, we were doing an appearance somewhere, and that morning in the gym, I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to some John Tesh today.
You got to do it.
So I put all his sports themes on, and I texted him, and I said, JT, I just wanted to let you know you were my inspiration for my workout today. And he's like, you made my day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you see the video, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so good. All right, let's not waste any time. I'm all set here, Mr. Van.
And Christina,
can you hear okay?
Your last name's Corp,
yep,
right?
Corp, yep. Christina
okay.
Corp.
All right, Mr. Van.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out in the chat room. We would love to have you hang out. You could be in there right now like our buddy Ghost of Manute Bull, Frogging Molly, and Shred Bear.
So we have a guest from the Orlando Science Center. Of course, Science Night Live is February 14th. We've been telling you guys about it. Great date night. Adults only. They have drinks. They have appetizers. They have great shows specific to Science Night Live. And speaking of that, she's going to be there, and we'll talk to you about what you're going to be talking about. But Christina Corp is here, and you have one of the best job titles I've ever heard. which is astronaut manager.
Astronaut Wrangler.
Okay, a Wrangler.
Yeah. Because and I was talking to my wife this morning a little bit about your job title, astronaut Wrangler, and what I found interesting is obviously the term wrangle, right? My wife namely has met a few astronauts, and she described them as being very, very unique human beings that require a bit of wrangling. So how does one become an astronaut wrangler?
So as I mentioned when I came in, I used to work for John Tesh, and then when I wanted to have a quiet, boring life, I answered an ad in the Hollywood Reporter to work for Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is going to be a piece of cake, man. After everything I've done, working for an old dude who walked on the moon, I did not realize he was going to take over my life for 12 years. So the reason I gave myself this title of Astronaut Wrangler is because people would call me up when I worked for Buzz and say, since you're the astronaut whisperer, and I'm like, that's not the word.
Okay, all right.
Wrangle.
And so I started calling myself when I left Buzz Aldrin Enterprises, and I went off on my own. After 12 years of my life being devoted to Buzz Aldrin, I decided to start my own company, and I started calling myself the Astronaut Wrangler. And my friends were like, how dare you? That is so disrespectful. But the astronauts were like, accurate. I was like, as long as they're cool with it, then I will keep it.
Did some people sort of think it was like disrespectful? I mean,
just my friends. My friends were like, how dare you? I was like, come on, I know these people, and they know they're strong personalities.
Well, let me ask you then. Let's lead with that. Wrangle. Are they how hard is it to wrangle an astronaut?
I mean, one astronaut said to me, oh my gosh, we're like wrangling cats. So it's totally accurate. And actually, my good friend Nicole Stott, who will be with me at the Orlando Science Center, we're very close. She's my partner in purpose. But when we're together, she'll tell people, I'm the wrangled astronaut.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, because most astronauts, most all of them, like super type A, usually the smartest of their class. I mean, former probably jet pilots and like just the top of the top as far as achievement, and then that personality probably hard to organize, right? Or like or you have to understand like how their brain works.
Is there a similarity, or are they just as unique as? I mean, we're talking about them like they are cats, but like, are they just like us? I mean, or are they?
Oh yeah.
Is there like a main characteristic that you see that you're like, oh yeah, all astronauts have X?
The thing that I admire about astronauts is they're curious, they don't give up, and they are really excited about being something greater than themselves. And they're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
So that is something that unites all of them. But the thing I'd like people to know is, some of them do have PhDs and they're the best fighter pilots. But honestly, most of them like a lot of them were C students. They were not the top, which is kind of amazing, but they wanted to do it so bad. And this is everybody at NASA too, by the way. So I like to tell people this because people say to me, how's it being with all these elite humans? I'm like, nah, they're not any smarter than I am.
That's
like
interesting.
that.
So most of them are C students, like didn't do well at school, weren't the valedictorian of their class.
Yeah. Because the ones who were the best academically went on to be researchers, or they decided to make tons of money, or they went on to something else. I'm not saying all. Some astronauts did decide, okay, I'm going to, but by the way, they're government employees, so they make government employee pay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even the guys who are going to the moon on Artemis 2, which is the next mission to the moon, by the way, next month.
There you go.
Humans going to the moon.
Mark your calendar.
They're government employees, and they don't get hazard pay. So they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the exploration, and that's the thing.
Whoa.
Oh, so Christina, okay, so the lot to talk to you about. And
lots to unpack. We've been here 4 minutes, and there's just bags everywhere.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Thank you for being here, by the way.
Jeff is here from the Orlando Science Center.
Let's get our business.
Let's plug the Science Night Live coming up February 14th.
I can say, though, I am very happy to sit backseat to the astronaut wrangler.
Right.
Because
you need some wrangling too, Jeff.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, the Science Center wrangler. But I mean, she's the reason that people are going to come to Science Night Live. Her and astronaut Nicole Stott are doing this awesome fireside chat that's going to be moderated by our friend Brendan Byrne from Central Florida Public Media.
There you go.
They're going to talk about their life, their career, their passion for exploration, and also how all that comes together to a really amazing art exhibit that is now on display at Orlando Science Center that Nicole and Christina have curated, featuring artwork from both Nicole, who painted in space, painted on the ISS, and some other astronauts that have contributed to that that display also artwork from other NASA professionals and students from around the world. But Science Night Live is a great event. Tom and Dan, I know you've been there and you've enjoyed it.
Without a doubt. And this one especially,
It's
I
perfect.
think,
Yeah, it's
because
very special.
because it is the Valentine's Day deal.
Yes.
Because love will be in the air. You know, like I also feel like Tom and I like this event because I've said this before. There are activities and things for you to do. It's purposeful. You know, you're not just going there, oh, what do you want to do? No, there are things that you're going to get to do, and it just makes for a better date night.
100%. Just because, if you're interested in space and science at all, this is a perfect.
Also, weird things this week I've been like kind of obsessed with, and I knew you were coming in, but I didn't know we were going to talk about like painting in space. I've become recently like sort of obsessed with things that are done in space. Just yesterday, I was actually Googling. I'm having a guitar made. I'm having a pedal steel guitar made. Nobody plays pedal steel guitar really anymore. And I'm having one made. There is a CD of pedal steel guitar that was played on the space station.
Oh, really?
And they have it framed at the shop where they build the I just like little things like that. It's just weird.
Oh,
you know,
hold on, I got more info.
Yeah,
for
give me
you.
some.
Like,
Give me some stuff.
You know, Fly Me. Buzz has a golden record from Quincy Jones because Quincy Jones produced "Fly Me to the Moon" with Frank Sinatra.
Yes,
so
yes,
that
yes.
went to the moon on Apollo 11, and there are a bunch of country stars who made a whole record for Apollo 16, like Dolly Parton and Hank Williams and all these guys. So lots of music in space.
Yeah, I love weird stuff going into space.
And so
cool.
Science Night Live is going to be very cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
we'll be talking
Saturday
about
night,
this stuff,
The
yeah.
February 14th. Leading off is Nicole and Christina doing their chat. We'll also have world champion magician Jason Latimer, who you had on the show, doing some awesome shows. Also, really cool Lego group, going to do some awesome Lego builds. That is from 8 to 11:30 on February 14th. What's also great about that weekend is it sparks STEMFest, which is our biggest event of the year.
Yep.
So SNL is plugged into that, plus Valentine's Day, plus Nicole and Christina. So just definitely worth checking out. Hope everyone can
And
make
the
it.
art, like that.
And the art,
I
that's-
didn't even know about that.
That's what
Yeah.
I wanted to say too,
That's
by the
cool.
way. So we do have Nicole's artwork that she painted, first watercolor in space, which was in the Smithsonian.
That's cool.
But we also have artworks by Michael Collins from Apollo 11, Alan Bean from Apollo 12. We have art, like a poetry book from Al Worden from Apollo 15. We have an artwork made in space by one of the first commercial astronauts, Richard Garriott. He painted in space. These are in this exhibit at the Orlando Science Center. So we want people to come and see it.
Jeff is literally throwing everything out.
Yeah.
You're throwing it
Yes.
all at it. Man.
The
love
heavy the bar is raised when it's Valentine's Day, so we gotta bring out the big guns.
Yeah.
Get your tickets at osc.org.
Please.
So, Christina, I want to ask you about this because, being that you managed Buzz Aldrin and being around this industry, there's been this conspiracy theory that is not gone away. Right, and it seems to have like almost gotten more popular from like podcasts and like, I think,
it's certainly an infamous topic that gets kicked around now and
it's a
again.
conspiracy theory that we did not land on the moon, that it was all staged, right? And I'm sure you dealt with this through your career, and how it's weird too, because like there's proof. And every scientist will tell you, like, there's there's satellites that orbit the moon. We could see the Mars rover.
Yeah. Right now.
Any country could shoot a laser to basically huge
reflectors,
and and also, and what tells me that 100% it's true beyond a reasonable doubt is the other countries would love to debunk the fact that the U.S. went to the moon. Billions of dollars would be spent to try to debunk this, especially Russia. Any other country would be like, there's the proof, and like information can spread easily. So it's like, it seems like a flat earth type of conspiracy that's absurd, but it still resonates in our societies heavily to the point where there are lots of people that will, even that are listening to me now, they'll be like, Tom, you're so naive. You're such a sheep believing we actually went to the moon. And I'm like, I can't believe this is still going on. So how'd you deal with this?
Well, I still deal with it. I mean, Buzz and I would deal with it. And Charlie Duke, the 10th man to walk on the moon, I work really closely with him.
Right on.
And I like his answer. And he says, we went to the moon 9 times. You think we'd fake it 9 times?
That's actually a really clever answer.
And plus, and he was actually on a podcast recently having to defend this with this idiot named Bart Seibel. And I'm going to say idiot because he's the guy that Buzz Aldrin punched out in 2007. You can find it on YouTube.
It's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Buzz punched that guy in the face, I'm like, yeah, it was the best thing I've ever seen.
At a time when people can disagree, it's one time that I think we can all agree that he stood up. He was an American. He punched this guy. Don't you dare say that.
Buzz reminds me of my pop-up so much that I'm just like, nah, I love the fact that he punched that guy.
Well, I have to tell you the story because 2 weeks after I started working for Buzz, my dad wanted to meet him. My dad is a big guy, 18-wheeler driver. So he comes by the office and he says, I heard you beat some guy up. And Buzz said, it was more like a one punch. And so I just was like, what? And I looked it up. But my favorite story is we were in New Jersey at an all-boys Catholic school. We totally got blindsided. They asked Buzz to get up and speak in front of this auditorium of 600 boys. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, crap, they didn't tell us they were going to do this to us. Anyway, but he said a few words and then this boy stood up and said, I heard you beat some guy up. And Buzz said, well, no, I need to explain. This guy was harassing us, not just me, all the Apollo astronauts, just showing up everywhere, trying to get us to swear in a Bible we did or we didn't land on the moon. He said, and I kept trying to get away from him, but then he called me a liar and a cheat, and that was it. So, pow! And he and these 600 boys stood up and started chanting USA, USA. and I have photos from this, but I wish with all my heart I had been recording it. It was just kind of an interesting thing of like this pride these boys felt, you know.
It's such a famous video though, because imagine doing something that significant and that meaningful, truly, like literally living history, and to be told something like that is just...
Well, and even me, I have to tell you, I got divorced a couple of years ago, so I've been dating the last couple of years, and I can't tell you how many times these guys will say, oh, come on, we didn't land on the moon. I was like, this is not going to work out.
Yeah, get out of here.
If you're going to ask
your red
me,
flag.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you know I worked for Buzz Aldrin and I work with Apollo astronauts and you're asking me that question, bye-bye.
Yeah.
You know.
We don't need that.
But just like them, do you think it has anything to do with, like, is there some validity behind, like, them enhancing... Because media was so, amateur back then, even amateur, like their technology was so bad back then. They enhanced images obviously you need to promote it.
You're asking why people believe that.
So then you enhance images and something like, you're like, okay, this is not the exact image. We altered it. And people are like, oh, that's proof that it's not real. It's like, no, we altered it because we wanted to show the world in a better way what it looks like because our technology's not that good. Do you think, is that part of the problem?
Yeah, but you know what it is partially too is if you tell somebody that we landed 6 times on the moon, they're like, what?
They don't know.
And I will say, when I started working for Buzz, I didn't know there was more than Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. I didn't even know about Michael Collins. And all of a sudden, I'm with 20 Apollo astronauts in the room. And so I would say to people, I think I'm the average American who didn't know there was more than one moon landing. You know, so that's part of the problem.
Well, that's just ignorance then. If you don't know something, you just don't know something.
If you're not a huge space geek, you're not going to know these things, right? You just know about Neil and Buzz. They will always be the most famous, people in the world. And then, of course, now they're, are people like Nicole who've gone to the space station, and I'm lucky. I probably know 100 astronauts, and I'm unless working at NASA. But I mean, even sometimes people just assume I know all the astronauts. So they're like, oh, so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't know who that is,
Right.
So, I mean, and I'm deep in the space world. I just think the conspiracy, and by the way, I was part of a conspiracy. So Buzz Aldrin and I went to the South Pole in 2016. He got sick. We got evacuated from the South Pole, and I had to approve a press release when we got to so we went all the way across Antarctica. And he got high altitude pulmonary edema, and he started getting like fluid in his lungs. They flew us to the other side, and we landed, and I was bleary eyed, and I had to approve a press release that we were evacuated. And then we were evacuated the rest of the way to New Zealand. By the time we landed, there was so much paparazzi everywhere, but more like immediately someone. And by the way, I created all of Buzz's social media accounts. I created his Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, all these things. And so somebody created a tweet that looked real that said, from Buzz, there are alien pyramids at the South Pole. It's pure evil itself. And so and it looked real. So of course people started sharing this.
Oh no.
And I was getting bombarded with people. Christina, you were there. Oh my God, tell us about the alien pyramids.
Yeah.
Is
it pure hell?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And I just picture somebody sitting in their basement going, "I'm gonna mess with people."
Yeah.
And just use Photoshop. But the funny thing is that was 2016. So last year, my sister says, "Hey, I just saw you on TikTok." I said, "I'm not on TikTok." She goes, "No, I saw this. There's a video by some influencer who was doing the conspiracy about the alien pyramids, and then I saw the pictures of you and Buzz." So I mean, unfortunately, I do think there are people like, I'm just gonna mess with people.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunately successful because it seems like, oh my God, I'm privy to this information that people don't know. So.
Do you think that, and we talk about it all the time, like the dead internet theory, that soon there will be so much fake stuff and AI will create so much fake stuff that like 10 years, whenever it happens, that you can no longer trust anything you see on the internet, rendering it almost like you don't know, anything you see, you don't know if it's real or fake.
It's a worry, yeah. I have an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Okay.
So my kids are on YouTube all the time.
Yes.
They're doing, but I will tell you what's interesting to me is they don't trust AI. So they know they're allowed to use AI now in school. And they're like, that's cheating. So that's kind of interesting to me. That's not my influence.
It's like a different
That's
relationship with it than we have.
So I think, I know some people are worried AI is going to take over the world. I am not, because I think that people are hungry for reality and human interaction. I mean, here we are in a studio looking at each other, talking to each other.
Sure, yeah. And it can't be duplicated. Even when we try to do Zoom or we try to do phone call, like we did the phone call with Adam Carolla, it would have certainly been better to have him in here earlier this morning or something like that. Would have been better.
Well, it definitely going to make things easier. And speaking of astronauts, like Buzz Aldrin and that generation of astronauts, when they went to the moon, I mean, and that's part of why this conspiracy theory, I think, still exists, is because we are familiar with the amount of the limited technology they had.
Well, it's the most fascinating part, right? Like when you go to like...
and it seems crazy to even think about.
When you see their module.
But they had the top. Look,
at the time.
They had the access to the best computing in the world. And so people would say this to Buzz because he had 2 iPhones, redundancy, backup. And he used to say, yeah, but if I throw this up in the air, is it going to do a rendezvous? Is it going to do this? And so, I mean, but what people don't realize, the reason we all have this cell phone is because of NASA. Because NASA had to create all these things that were fast, lightweight, and all of that. So we're all getting a piece of that, this moon landing, and what we will get from the future missions,
I think that's a really great point, because people talk about, why are we going back to space? We've already been to the moon, or it's so expensive, it's so much to do, just so we can say we've been there. And people don't really realize how much beneficial technology and benefits come from the space program.
Yeah, and that's why, honestly, going to the space, the Orlando Science Center, this is why we want people to go places like this and see also all the cool little ways. I mean, I have kids, like I said, and there's a lot of hands-on stuff there. And that's the thing, and by the way, why we do art is because we're very passionate to make sure people know that most astronauts are artists or craftspeople in some way, and how critical that is. Yes, every astronaut I know has some creative outlet. And even my buddy, Doug Hurley, who was on the first SpaceX crewed mission, he told me, well, my buddy Bob was better at spacewalking because he carves figurines for a hobby. He's like a woodworker.
Oh, he's whittling, yeah.
So he has better dexterity in his hands, and he's able, because spacewalking is really space crawling at the space station. You're holding on with your hands, not your feet,
Yeah.
So, but that's why you see this art exhibit with us and all these astronaut artists. And by the way, even Alexei Leonov, who was the first human to do a spacewalk, Russian cosmonaut, he sketched portraits of all his crewmates in his spacecraft.
Weird.
So we want more people to realize they are very creative, and that's super critical to problem solving and all the things. And that's what I love about the Orlando Science Center. There's lots of hands-on things, lots of creative things there.
We're all about what we're doing is stimulating these STEM skills. And when you say STEM, everybody thinks guys in lab coats or rocket scientists, but STEM is really a set of skills that helps you be successful. It's critical thinking, it's creativity, it's collaboration, communication, problem solving, which is all epitomized by an astronaut.
It's also kind of weird that we only like cherish that around our children. We're like, oh yeah, STEM. But what about us?
We could all benefit
right.
from
Or what
this.
about the date night at the science centers?
We
Let's just
all
STEM.
need these skills, right? Well, gosh, in dating, you need to be critical thinking and problem solving, creative. But it's important stuff. It's important stuff.
But look
that
at
comes
me.
out of these experiences.
I worked for John Tesh. Before that, I was a singer. I used to tour all over the world
Oh, no
singing.
way.
So when I applied for the Buzz Aldrin job, they had gotten hundreds of resumes. And then I got the job, and people ask me all the time, how did you get this job? And I'm like, I applied. And I had the right skills, which was entertainment skills, and I would meet other people from NASA, and they're like, what's your PhD in? And I'm like, getting crap done.
Yeah. Facilitating,
Taking care of business.
Resourcefulness, that's my biggest. Creativity, creative ways of finding, making things happen. But this was not an engineer's job, like to promote Buzz Aldrin and to help him with his appearances in his media. That an engineer would be the worst person.
Of course,
frankly.
I wonder if the entertainer's job is familiar with media and how the industry works.
But it's also inspiring to think that somebody outside of that normal like STEM area, because you're showing the creative side, the entertainment side of it, but you're working in the space field.
Yeah.
Which is really neat.
Yeah.
When you think about it, because
I think a lot of people forget that it works hand in hand, and they think of like anybody who works for NASA or in space as being the super math, like the human calculator, and almost like a saturation.
It is the stereotype.
There's some jobs like a saturation divers, which was like, oh, this guy is a human calculator, like
right.
He has no fear, and stuff like that. And then you forget, like, with the creativity, especially for astronauts too. And I had heard this, and tell me if this is correct, like they wanted creativity in their astronauts, especially because it's easier for them to describe what they're seeing to humanity and their experiences.
Yeah. Not in the beginning.
Okay.
I mean, Neil Armstrong had the most non-expressive personality I've ever met. I mean, he was
stereotypical real man.
Well, I would say hi, Neil, and he'd go hi.
Yeah,
and that would be it. There would be no like, hey, how you doing? Or no, man, Buzz is like, super
he's not gonna chirp you up like I do. I'm a chirper.
No, but I will say, he also though was chosen because they wanted the guy who was cool under pressure, wasn't gonna panic, all this stuff. I mean, that's why all those guys were chosen. But then they were the ones who said, we need to send poets and artists and musicians because we're not the best equipped to relay this profound experience.
I'll drive you there. You guys draw it.
Yeah.
So
like
Christina,
one of those guys.
I'm curious your thoughts on when we do go back to the moon here coming up. Like you said, March 7th is the launch. Hopefully,
the next one, or attempt,
Yeah.
We hope.
And so, when we do see this high definition of humans walking on the moon again, and like this whole new perspective, do you think that the conspiracy theory gets stronger, like that we didn't do it back then, or do you think it dies out once they see it's possible?
That's a good question.
What's your opinion?
I think it depends. What we need to do is have a lot of missions now, because just going back once ain't going to do it, even maybe going back twice. And by the way, Artemis 2, which is they're just orbiting the moon. But it'll be the first time we have 4K cameras in there. They'll have devices. They're probably going to use Starlink, to communicate with the rest of us in the world. So
will they be able to show like the rovers and the stuff left up behind on prior missions?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, and by the way, I just helped, and I have a call about this tomorrow because I do a lot in London with the Piccadilly screen, and they want to show it in Piccadilly Circus as a shared experience for people to come and watch it together too, not just looking at your device. You know, and so, I mean, we aren't really going to know. But today, actually, I think I saw an announcement that Jared Isaacman, who's the new NASA administrator, is giving, like, all astronauts now are getting a new device, the most cutting edge smartphone to take with them to space, so they can actually capture more and show things in a way they haven't done before. Because when the NASA astronauts normally go, they have to use the cameras they have on board, they have to use this communications, but this is now they're giving them phones, which I'm guessing, this is just my guess, that they may be using Starlink now to be able to, instead of NASA comms, but to be able to use the connectivity that's in space to relay with phones. They've never done that before.
Yeah, it's
My God, get a selfie on the moon to another astronaut, a selfie on the other side of the moon.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're gonna. And then obviously
that's FaceTime. That'd be crazy.
This mission paves the way to eventually walk and I'm glad I'm gonna see this too. And then even Mars we're gonna see probably in our
eventually,
lifetime.
yeah.
What's interesting too is the quality of the images is almost like, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the ones that they're like in preparation. They're kind of showing other 4K imagery that we do have. And when you look at like really, really good photographs of the moon, it's weird.
Yeah.
There's a weirdness there almost because you don't want to believe it. But
well, Japan had some really incredible orbiting footage of going with their version of Earthrise compared to from 68. And it looks unreal. It looks like a video game, but it is real.
It is real, but it's just so good that doesn't really help your argument.
No, actually, you're right.
but it is. It's almost like it looks like they've added another crater there and then just put some distress there. And I'm like, no, that's real, man. That's not, nobody did that.
Yeah.
Nobody drew that.
Christina, I saw this on TikTok, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. But they were claiming that anybody who's gone to space, especially anybody who's gone to the moon and was able to look back at the planet Earth, right? That they all had this sense of immediate, oh my God, we're just so small speck of dust in this huge universe. And it immediately put everything in perspective. And they looked at every world problem as petty.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of like life-changing.
The astronauts you talked to, did they think like that? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and even Buzz, first thing he said was magnificent desolation. But even he's like, and Michael Collins, all of them, I mean, a couple of the guys were crying on the surface of the moon. These are steely-eyed missile men,
Yeah.
And it was like, they were like, wow, everyone who's alive is over there on that little blue dot. And there is just something. And by the way, it's not just that. Even when they go to the space station or anybody goes to space, I think it really drives home wow, we're just humans on the same planet. It really drives that home. Now, I will say, because you say they often, you'll hear people say, oh, there's no borders from space. But at night, you can see them. And the really clear one is from North Korea and South Korea.
Yeah. That's
eerie. So that's kind of a different perspective of, and also I heard one astronaut say he used to think the lights at night, like when you're in orbit, because they see sunrises and sunsets every 45 minutes.
Okay.
So they're orbiting the Earth, every 90 minutes and 17,500 miles per hour. But they were saying, he said, I used to think lights from the cities was population, and I realized it was wealth, because if you look at Africa, there's 1 billion people there, but it's mostly dark at night.
Yeah.
So there's this really valuable perspective,
yeah.
You get from space. But yes, I mean, it's an emotional thing. Heck, I get it in an airplane, looking down on Earth. Anybody can get that. The overview effect, which by the way was coined by Frank White, who's a good friend of ours. So
that's crazy, man.
What was the hardest part of being astronaut Wrangler, do you think?
So to back up, like I sang on Ringo Starr records, I was hanging out with Aerosmith. So for me, all of a sudden, hanging out with these old dudes who walked on the moon, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But I think it's why they accepted me in their world really quickly. I really tried hard to make Buzz more famous. We did and you have to look this up if you haven't seen it. We made a making of rap video with Snoop Dogg back in 2009 for the 40th anniversary of Apollo 11. Look it up. It's awesome. It's on Funny or Die.
Okay, we'll find it. Yeah.
And I'm singing background vocals on the rap song, by the way. The rap song is okay. It's the making of that's awesome.
I love it.
With Snoop, he was awesome. And I, as I made him more famous, it made it like sometimes we were places and people would chase us like he was a Beatle. I mean, and that was kind of interesting to all of a sudden be with this guy who's so famous. He's an icon in the world.
Yeah.
Well, he's history, which is weird. It's one thing to just be a good entertainer, okay, Justin Timberlake, great singer, boy band, good solo career, but he didn't do anything that nobody else did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're talking about a one of one, which is very weird.
Well,
or one of maybe, how many moon guys do we have?
We only have 12 guys who walked on the
12
moon
guys.
and 24 guys who went to the moon.
Gotcha.
That's super rare.
How did he end up on Ollie G?
Oh my gosh!
How the hell did
you
that
have
happen?
the right person to ask there.
How did the publicist? Were you working with them?
No.
Okay.
So I started January 2nd, 2008 was my first day.
Okay.
So that was 2007. I call that BC before Christina. So
Okay, all right.
But I mean, Ollie G got lots of big names. He got like the head of the CIA. I mean,
It's insane how all that happened. It
doesn't happen as much anymore.
Pre-social media.
Sasha burned it hard, man.
It can. By the way, it can never happen again ever. The history of time, because we have a way to research everything.
Well, the guards get let down because people don't do their due diligence. So they're up right now, but they'll come back down, and then somebody will slip in there again.
I don't think it's possible to unless you fabricated your whole background on the internet somehow. It'd be impossible to
AI.
Hey, you would be surprised at how many people still don't Google things, or like, or they ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT just makes crap up.
Yeah, it's just wrong.
So going back to how that happened with Ali G.
I think it came through like a credible news organization or HBO or something like that. So it was, and by the way, those kinds of interviews, they usually were paid. So they offered them money. So, of course, that's more enticing. Ooh, you get to be paid to do an interview, And especially for someone like astronauts or certain, personalities, that's what happens.
You do like speaking events and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but even interviews. I mean, so for instance, during the 40th anniversary of Apollo 11, Buzz was paid $75,000 to do a 30-minute TV interview in Italy. I found out Neil Armstrong was paid $500,000 for the same thing.
Let's talk about it. Oh my God. Oh,
damn.
Difference between the first and second.
Yes. And then think about all those other guys, because Buzz and Neil are the most famous by far, of all of them. But I mean, so I will say, if you've seen the Ollie G thing, I thought Buzz handled it amazing.
Oh, yeah.
He was so patient.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's probably just like old school guy who was like, well, I guess this is what the kids like nowadays. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Allie, what? All right.
And then he's like, this guy's a moron. But, he's smart enough to understand that, like, hey, a lot of entertainers are morons and they get popular. So now I'm just talking to a moron. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was easy in that character to get
Is an astronaut like this, Allie G, like, okay, 75,000, let's say he's getting paid. You walk in, he knows his mission. His mission is to do the interview.
Yeah. He don't care.
An astronaut is a mission guy, right? So he's like, if you're gonna melt down, act crazy, if this is what the kid's like, whatever, I'll just do my astronaut thing and get out of here. Mission accomplished.
Well, and I mean, the thing is, these guys, you have to understand how many interviews they have done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That being said, Buzz, the reason I love hanging out with Buzz, he has a great sense of humor. Great. If you ever saw him on The Simpsons.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Second comes right after first. and we did, 30 Rock. That was hilarious, where we did Transformers together, and that was really fun.
Can we say that you're pretty instrumental to taking the image of him and kind of pushing it in a lot of these places?
Well, it's funny because I always say my rock star lifestyle prepared me for life with Buzz Aldrin. But Nicole, if she was here, she's always the one who says, no, he was an icon. You made him a rock star. Because I did change his dressing, because he looked like a sweet little old man when I met him. I changed the way he dressed. I'm the one who created the Get Your Ass to Mars campaign, if you ever saw that.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so I mean, and I have a jacket on, one of our jackets that says that. And
that's awesome.
So I mean, but I said to him, because when we did the Snoop Dogg thing, he's like, oh, the other astronauts aren't going to like it. I said, who cares? You got to get people like me. You got to get people like me to understand and remember that you walked on the moon if you want us to, listen to you about Mars mission. So that's what I tried my hardest to try to get my own sensibility in my world. And I still try to be that bridge between these worlds. And why I do so much with Nicole is because she sees that too. She sees, okay, we're good partners. She's the astronaut with that credibility. I'm the one who knows kind of how to reach the masses and translate space.
And he must have seen the value in like getting himself out there and really like that is more than just him personally.
Future astronauts, man.
But because like you would think of someone like Buzz Aldrin, I imagine would just be like like society's like this is a conspiracy and all this stuff. And you'd be like I'm gonna be by myself at home, live my life. Like I don't care about this anymore. But he kept putting himself out there.
Well,
and,
I'll tell you a funny he did Dancing with the Stars, as you may remember.
Yes.
2010. And when I got the call for that, and I was like, man, he ain't never gonna do that. And then I called him up and I said, hey, Dancing with the Stars wants you. And he's like, okay. I said, you have to dance. And he's like, okay. I took Arthur Murray classes when I was a kid. I said, but you have to dance like every day. He's like, he kept saying, okay. I said, so you're going to do it? He's like, okay. I was like, holy crap, he's going to do it. So I told them yes. But then later he told me, I was just trying to get you off the phone.
That's typical man. That's a typical man. That's what I do. I do that. I'm like, yeah.
But also, it kind of makes sense because like that's the astronaut personality of like I'm presenting something to you as like I can do it. You know, it's like that can-do personality.
Is there a confidence that they all sort of have like that?
Well, it was kind of funny because he did it. The only time I've ever seen him nervous. Actually, when we were doing Transformers and Michael Bay was sitting there with me because Buzz had a scene with, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay goes, has he ever been nervous? I said, only on Dancing with the Stars. That was the only time I've ever seen him nervous. Once the cameras came on, then all of a sudden he was like, crap, I'm dancing in front of millions of people.
Yeah. Pretty pivotal scene,
Yeah. But at the same time, you know what? He loved being around all those young dancers and all those hot dancers. He had me bring in a picture of him when he was like in his 30s when he had a hot bod and he was a scuba diver. He's like, show him I used to be this hot.
That's awesome.
Look at me. That's awesome.
Christina, personally, what's your favorite thing about space? What are you looking forward to?
I want to go to the moon.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Yourself?
Oh yeah, I would go in a heartbeat. Yeah, I don't want to go to Mars.
Have you ever wanted to go through there? I guess you can't. Would you try to go privately?
Oh yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, because lots of people want to be serious about even being commercial astronauts, and I'm like, no. I want to be a space tourist. Yeah. I want to have fun. I don't want to have to do work. I want to go and have fun in space.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't been offered like even one of the like the Blue Origin or anything.
Well, you gotta pay for that.
Yeah. You gotta pay for it.
No, but with what she does, I'm surprised that somebody in that world hasn't.
Everybody
been like,
knows that I want to go, but everyone thinks I'm just so good at making things happen. They just, I don't know. Hopefully, one of these days I'll get there.
But
I think that would be killer, man.
What's your opinion on people that like obviously the Blue Origin can't go into suborbital, and then people are like, it's not really space because like everybody's calling Katy Perry an astronaut. She's no astronaut. It's funny when people argue
weird
about
videos with the flowers that like people are like, come on, knock it off,
and not understanding what being in orbit and suborbital means, and like that.
Well, they're a whole other literal level of space flight. I mean, because the suborbital is literally an 11-minute flight. And by the way, I curate zero gravity flights that you can do with NASA astronauts. And I've done 6 of those. I have another one coming up later this year to do with an Apollo moonwalker and Nicole. And you get more weightlessness on a zero gravity flight than you do on a suborbital flight.
Really?
Yep. And so I say to people, if you don't want to spend millions of dollars, come on a zero-G flight with me.
And that's basically an airplane that just
parabolas,
goes up and down, and then in the down part of it creates a zero-G atmosphere. It's like, they call it the vomit comet back in the day, and so because you can stay up there longer, you get longer time at zero-G.
You get 15 parabolas, although on most of my flights they gave me 17 because I got astronauts on board.
Free.
But and that's the threshold where people are going to get nauseous. That's kind of the point. I have felt nothing. I am ready to go. I want to do 100 parabolas. I'm ready to go. And my kids have done it too. My son was 7. My daughter was 10. I think my son is the youngest person ever to do a zero gravity.
What? That's awesome. Well, you're a cool mom.
Awesome family. Oh my God, that's a hell of a 7. Hey, for your 7th birthday, I'm taking you on the parabola. You're gonna be weightless.
All I got was Chuck E. Cheese, man.
I know. I think I got McDonald's. You gotta step up. Chuck E.'s good.
Speaking of the sensation that no one can kind of even imagine what it feels like. You kind of like, okay, you've been down on a roller coaster or you've been on some amusement park ride. You kind of feel weightless for a second, but like being in a controlled environment without wind in your face, being weightless is crazy to me. And
you gotta take your son. So you gotta do the parabolas with your boys.
What's the cost? Like just if you're paying for it?
It's like $9,000 to $10,000 a person, so it's not cheap. But I mean, if you want to go to suborbital, you're talking millions. And then if you want to go to orbit, we're talking, tens of millions.
Is Crystal going to want to be there? Because it's $30,000. It's for you and the boys.
Well, if anybody, I'm doing it myself. Okay. I'm not bringing my family. I can't afford that.
Actually, you don't know how many guys I know who are like, they're not coming, just me.
Yeah. Save the money.
And let's remind everybody again.
Yeah, let's
Christine,
do our
Sorry,
business
we
part.
could probably talk about this all day.
Yeah, no.
And hey, thank you again for being here. And guys, if you want to like kind of dip your toe into this too, and it's going to be better than this because it's going to be a full night of all of this with cocktails, with bites to eat, with all of the exhibits. It's going to be great. It's at the Orlando Science Center, and if you haven't been there, you have to check it out.
Yeah, Science Night Live, OSC.org, and get your tickets. If you're a member, if
you're a member, it's only $3 to get in.
Oh,
so,
really? Okay,
yeah,
wow.
So it's a great deal to be a member.
$3.
Yes.
we were saying $5.
I've been saying $5.
Yeah.
$3.
All right, 3, 5.
It's very
less than the
member.
price of a fast food lunch.
Yeah.
And you get to meet an awesome astronaut,
Yeah.
Nicole Stott, who is my favorite. She's an amazing person, amazing earthling, and so
so are
meet an
you.
astronaut.
You're pretty damn amazing
Oh,
too.
thank you.
Thank you for being here and for sharing all of your cool jobs with us. We really do appreciate it. It's like one of the strangest weird jobs out of weird job that we've ever done.
No, 100%. Christina, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jeff, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you, guys.
You always bring the best people, man.
I know some cool people.
You do know some cool
Your
people,
record
Jeff.
stands. I
Yes.
mean, this guy's
Yeah.
always bringing us an astronaut or an astronaut Wrangler or somebody.
Orlando Science Center's cool people. Check it out.
Yep.
OSC.org.
Yeah, we will see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Great
Sorry,
job,
I know
y'all.
we went long.
No, we're perfect. That's actually exactly where we need to be.
with you just because it was super
That
interesting
was
and I
fantastic.
enjoyed that.
Are we